Now, the day has finally arrived where we are going to see the Neo ES6 EC6 being officially unveiled, and boy, I must say, it's just so crazy because as seen on the screen, you'll notice that these are the pictures showing the preparations. Neo is getting ready to launch these models. You know that it is being launched. I think we are left with about 3 hours. In 3 hours, Neo will be launching this model, which is something that is very, very good. Now, yesterday during a session, the new president announced or highlighted something very interesting, and that is new 5566, which is the ET5 Touring, ET5 mid sedan, ES6 EC6. How good can they be in terms of sales after being launched? And as he was discussing, he said one thing that will make these cars to sell very well is obviously to drop price a bit. You will know that the ET5 Touring, ET5 mid sedan starting price is the same. It's 298,000 RMB, which is equivalent to like what, $42,000, right? This is the price that he's saying they should drop it a bit. Also, the ES6 I think starts around 338,000 RMB, whilst the EC6 I think starting price is around just almost 360,000 RMB. So these are the prices that he's saying they should adjust a bit. He thinks if they are to drop them down a bit, these models could do absolutely great. And I think Neo can afford to do this. And the reason is because you will know that these models are coming with the autonomous driving chip that saves Neo around $1,380. So they can drop them by maybe half of that, and they're still making maybe half of that amount, or even drop it completely by just that full amount. I mean, if they are to drop it by exactly that $1,380, they are going to like cut the price by around what, 10,000 RMB, which I suppose it can make sense because there is a lot that Neo is offering on these new models. Yes, we have not heard exactly what some of the new features are, but apparently there are some massive features that Neo is going to announce today, which is something that is great, and we look forward to that. So Neo can afford to get or to drop the price a bit on these models because there is also the Sky OS, which is their operating system which they are using on their cars, and that also is a cost saving item that they can use to and still be able to cut or drop a bit on the prices and still generate some good profit margins or some good gross margins. One of the things that obviously some people are tending to forget is that Neo right now, as I'm doing this video, they are producing their cars by themselves. You'll know that when Neo started selling cars back in 2018, they had partnered with a company called Jag, right? Jag had the license to produce cars, so they had to do an agreement where the two companies, of course, will build these cars together. And Neo, based on the information that we know, they were paying Jag around $1,200 per car that was produced onto Neo. But the good thing that some of the people are tending to forget is that people, I think we are forgetting, is that last year, I think around September, I can't remember the exact month, but there was a time where on their factory called Jag Neo, the contract came to an end, right? We even saw that factory no longer called Jag Neo, but it was just left called Neo in Hefei. Now, there is Neo Park. Neo Park, you'll know that the contract was supposed to end in March, which I think, though we did not get the announcements, but it's already close off, meaning that Neo is able to, or it's producing cars by themselves, which this is also very important because the vehicle margins, right, that they make because of this news that I was just telling you now, I think you and me can agree that there's a lot that Neo can do and still get some very good gross margins, which is something that is great, something that is very exciting. We are going to get the official price of these cars today, and boy, I must say, I can tell you now that based on the information or based on that session that the president was making of Neo, I think we can agree that prices are going to be lower than the existing prices. And guess what that is going to do onto Neo? It's going to be lights out. I mean, have a look at the discounts that they were offering, which led into Neo. So you're seeing some massive orders inflow for the month of April. I mean, that is what can happen when, of course, prices are a bit dropped. And some of the people don't even realize that, look, those discounts are not all coming from Neo, but there's also subsidies that the government has been throwing in to try to help users or the Chinese consumers to procure buy EV cars like NIO, which is something that is great. So let's hope that, of course, with the price drop that NIO could introduce today, they still are able to generate some very good gross margins, because if they don't do that, I think it's necessary that at least, because they've got the autonomous driving chip, they've got SkyOS, they are now producing their cars, all of them completely, because they now have got a license to do so. I think they can drop the prices a bit, right? They can slightly drop the prices because of the in-house developments that we've been seeing coming from NIO. So I am happy, I am excited, and we look forward to this launch. We look forward, as I've said at the beginning of this video, they are getting ready, they are preparing the stage where NIO will be doing an online launching of the ES6 and the EC6. The reason why it's an online session, NIO told us that obviously they're trying to save cost, because you will know that this year it's an important year for NIO, because they intend or plan to get to profitability in Q4, which therefore means they must try to do whatever they can to save the cost, to cut costs, so that at least they can get to profitability, which is something that is great, something that of course we look forward to. Yeah, man, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, tell me what you think about this. Blue sky is coming, long term will win. Those that are persevering throughout the edges of the share price will most definitely be rewarded with time. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you next one, my dear friends, and God bless you all.
E6、ET5和5T 上来以后，能不能不打折，依然能够延续当前热销的气氛？我觉得这个是我们现在公司内部团队重点来准备和观察的一个指标。今天这个热闹不算什么啊，清库嘛。